Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Star Wars Empire at War. You can find the Gold Edition on Steam for about 20 bucks. That includes the base game as well as the Forces of Corruption expansion, which, even though it adds more content to the game, the third pirate faction that it does introduce is incredibly annoying for reasons I'll get into later, but still not bad. And you can find this on sale, by the way, for the May the 4th special. It's $5 right now as opposed to 20, so definitely worth picking up if you like Star Wars at all or are looking for something Star Wars-y. Now, I gotta warn you though, this game is fairly old. This was released back in, I want to say 2006, and this is like miles ahead of Star Wars Rebellion, which was released back in 1998. That was my jam. I still play it today. I love Star Wars Rebellion. And I was so excited when this game was announced and it came out because I'm like, oh my gosh, if this is Star Wars Rebellion 2.0, then I'm going to be happy as a clam. Turns out, no. It's a more streamlined version of Star Wars Rebellion. You still have this galactic map, and there are different modes. You could do skirmish, you could do a campaign map, and there are different maps that you can choose between that have a different number of planets. So in some ways, it improves upon Rebellion, but in other ways, it's more simpler. Because in Star Wars Rebellion, Han Solo, for example, had his own stats, for example. The stat sheets on these heroes in Star Wars Rebellion were miles long. Here, they just, if they're programmed to do a special ability, like Han Solo can steal credits from an enemy planet, for example, or, different things. But there's no, diplomacy as there was in Star Wars Rebellion. You're not fighting to either control a planet through force or diplomacy. It's just a matter of getting there with your forces and capturing it by putting land forces on the ground. And like I said, it's a simpler version of Star Wars Rebellion. So I was both happy and disappointed at the same time when this game came out. But what really sort of attracts me to this game is how well done the space battles are. And I could sit here forever and praise the space battles. It's just, when you come from Star Wars Rebellion, which was this pixely, again, 1998 style combat thing where you can kind of tell Red Squadron to do this or this Star Destroyer to do this. It was just all pixels. It was really hard to look at. And then fast forward to 2006, now you actually see a fully fleshed out Star Destroyer or a calamari cruiser, and then a group of X-Wings, Y-Wings doing their thing, each one's with different abilities. It was just so satisfying watching all of the pew-pews happen. That's what I can really say about that. And there's a lot more to it than that, obviously. Like, you can upgrade your space stations, and they provide reinforcements. And there's tech levels. So you'll be unlocking different capital ships and new fighters as you go. And the Rebels do play a bit differently than the Imperials for obvious reasons. So, yeah, it's a joy when space battles happen. I always take control of them when the opportunity arises because they're just a heck of a lot of fun. Land battles, on the other hand, there were no land battles in Star Wars Rebellion, so I guess I should be thankful. But I feel like this was tacked on after the fact. Land battles consist of, there are control points on the map, and you're trying to bring troopers, not like machine units, but troopers over to these control points to capture them. That increases your population cap for that battle so that you could land more units, assuming you're the attacking force. If you're defending, your facilities, whatever you have there already, just continuously pump out reinforcements over time. So the attacker is up against the clock to get there and destroy it, otherwise get defeated through attrition. But it's just clunky and not my favorite thing. In fact, you can cheese the game, get some land speeders or TIE fighters, and so as long as the enemy doesn't build anti-air turrets via one of the fixed control turret points, you can just destroy their entire base with one air unit. It's just it's that easy to do. I see the potential here, but unfortunately, like I said, I feel like it was tacked on. Yeah, you can control Han Solo, Chewie, and other heroes that normally wouldn't have a ship in space. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't have a ship in space, but he can be controlled on land with a lightsaber. you can just send them over, do things fine. But it's just, I bypass land battles any chance I get. And it's incredibly unfortunate, especially since, like I said, Star Wars Rebellion didn't have land battles at all. It was just an automatic thing where you dragged units onto the planet and you hoped that the units, assuming there were any left after you bombarded it to oblivion, you were hoping that your troopers won. So, Star Wars Empire at War is still a fantastic game. Now, the Forces of Corruption introduces a third faction, which I typically don't like. I like the whole, you siphon credits by adding corruption to planets that other people control, but in order to do that, in order to put corruption on a planet, you have to do a quick mini-game land battle. And I hate the land battles, so I never play with the Forces of Corruption pack on. I just play it standard. And I have to stress that this is not all the game has to offer. There are hundreds of mods on the Steam Workshop that people have created that make this game 300 times better than what it is. Some are super complicated, some are I've seen a Star Trek mod for a Star Wars game, So there's a lot of content here. So do I recommend it? Absolutely. For the $5 that it is on sale right now, get it while you can. Just be warned, it is a bit dated, and still, if you stick with it, you'll enjoy it. I still recommend Star Wars Rebellion, even though it's the older and less intuitive game, but still, this stands the test of time to some degree, and it's worth playing. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.